All right, so let's settle in and we'll get started. You can take a comfortable and upright seat. I'm very glad to see you here this morning. And we're going to be focusing on getting the breath into the back of the waist and also focusing on the digestive system. Your immune system is intimately connected to your digestive system. So please rest your hands in your lap and let your eyes close. And give yourself the joy of arriving. And bring your awareness to your mid-torso, right? The floating ribs, the kidneys, the back of your waist. And just try to get a sense if you're sitting heavily, like we call that in yoga, Tamas, if it's lethargic. Or you could get a sense if it's very activated, very energized. In yoga, we call that Rajas. And try to bring it into balance. So if you lengthen the spine, lift your ribs up slightly on the back and the front. So the mid-torso is going to be able to breathe. We want to cultivate the state of balance, which is called Sattva. So those are Tamas, which is heaviness, Rajas, overactivation, and Sattva, the guna that is the most balanced, the most lucid. We need Tamas for stability, for grounding. We don't need it to become heavy or lethargic. We need Rajas for motivation. We don't need it to become hypervigilant or hyperactive. We need Sattva for the lucid, clear mind and heart. We don't need it to become dissociated. So allow your breath to be a part of the process of balancing these three gunas. The inhale comes down to the low pelvis and then to the mid-torso. You establish Tamas, that which is grounding. And you establish energy, motivation, Rajas. And then the breath can lift up into the heart and we touch the quality of Sattva, that which is lucid. Allow the breath to be the conduit for this understanding, so you're not so much in the intellect, but in the body itself. In the chant that we're going to sing, we actually hear the word Tamas. We say, Jyotir Gamaya, Tamas, Soma, Jyotir Gamaya. Jyotir Gamaya means may we come to the Jyoti, the light, Tamas, the heaviness, may we overcome that. Tamasoma, Jyotir Gamaya. It's the second line in the chant. So please bring your hands together at your heart. And we can sing together. You also can listen to learn and you can hum along if you like. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. You may bow your head to your heart. And please release your hands and open your eyes. May we overcome the lethargy that is tamas, but may we remember the benefit of being grounded, right? Especially in these very uncertain times. We're going to come up to standing to start with the chair. So Susie can switch to the Sarahjoy camera, please. And I'll take the microphone back with me. Good. Okay, so when we come back, set this here. I'm going to ask you to use the upper back of the chair to get started in like a pose that's kind of like downward facing dog to help us bring the breath down into the torso. So you place the heel of the hand, the strong part of the heel of the hand, on the upper back of the chair, and then step backwards, something like this. And when you step back, a couple considerations. Step back far enough and not too far so that your heels are really under the plumb line of your hips. And then firmly press into your footprints for stability, for that part of tamas that is stability, but also press down into the heels of your hands on the chair. We want both the legs and the arms to be stable. And without hammocking your torso, and especially not hammocking your shoulders towards the floor, breathe in like a parachute to the back hemisphere of your body. And when you exhale, follow the pathway of the exhale from just above your pubic bone in towards your sacrum and towards your belly button. Use the Ujjayi inhale, and let's use the Ujjayi exhale as well. And if you're just waking up this morning or getting the body going for the first time this morning, listen for how the breath is welcomed into your body at any place where it feels challenged or less invited. And I'd like you to press down onto the chair with your hands and walk forward, come up to standing, and turn to face forward, whatever that is for you. My forward is going to be here. Okay, and take the left arm out to the side, turn your left palm face up. Inhale, raise your left arm overhead, catch your left wrist with your right hand, and as you root down into your left heel, side bend to your right. And try to side bend without swaying your hips to the side. So if you were to have your feet in the mirror in front of you, they would be as if you were standing straight up and down. If you don't have a mirror, of course, most of you don't. So what you do is you visualize, are the feet and ankles and shins still vertical where you started? So that's the element of tamas that supports your stability. Root down into your left hip and reach up into your left hand. That's the element of rajas that supports motivation and action. Nice job. Let's exhale and rise up to standing. Pour yourself down into your legs as you come up. Release both arms. And just pause to catch like a little glimpse of that which is now sattvic or balanced. Like the gunas, they want to come back into homeostasis and harmony. Take your right arm out to the side, palm face up. Raise your right arm high and keeping your feet, ankles, shins, and knees stable. Reach up and side bend gently over. Root down into your right heel. And keeping some of your attention on your feet for that sense of stability that is tamas. Breathe along the right hemisphere of your torso. So right hip to your right fingertips. And think of that which you can motivate, right? You can energize. And sometimes to motivate, you have to kind of clean out the dust bunnies, the stuff that's causing the residue. Now with an exhale, tone your right low belly, bring yourself up, float your arms wide. Okay, and now we're going to use yesterday's exhale breath, one of the 4 breaths. We're going to use the silent straw exhale. So turn back to face your chair, please. The silent straw exhale means that you're going to be exhaling through the mouth, through a very tiny opening like the size of a cocktail straw. Okay, so inhale through the nose using the Ujjayi breath. Make the back parachute of the body expansive. And then exhale like a tiny cocktail straw, and notice the tone of the low belly, the low belly, the low belly. And that tone, though the breath is silent, the tone should be ever increasing until the end of the exhalation. And then you smoothly inhale. And again, a tiny straw exhale. Nice job. Now, let's inhale, roll up to standing. And let's try that tiny straw exhale in the side bend. So you are challenging your deep belly muscles, and I have had some questions about this. Yes, you have to develop your ability for that. Deep down low, across, like here are my hip bones, here's the pubic bone, and it's right across this very low, kind of like a lap belt spot in the body. This is your transverse abdominis, and it's partnered with your pelvic floor. And together that tone is increasing, increasing, increasing. It should feel like the hip bones are coming just slightly towards each other, and then the exhale is completed. Okay, let's try it like this. Left arm out to the side, raise your left arm, hold your wrist. Do not side bend as deep as ever possible, because you will not be able to have the same elegance with the breath. So Rajas is that which becomes over-efforted. Do not over-effort here in the side bend. Let's inhale through the nose. That's your Ujjayi inhale. And then the tiny straw exhale. Notice the tone you have to use in the left low belly. And then inhale, rise up to center. Change the hands, please. Let's arc over to the left. Good job. Thank you for your concentration. We inhale through the nose, Ujjayi inhale. And a tiny straw exhale. Notice the tone you're asking of the right low belly. Good. And then inhale, rise up to center and let both arms relax. My hope is that as you pause a moment, you're going to feel the balance guna, which is called Sattva. That your mind becomes more clear, more lucid, the body as well. We will use your chair again, but I'm going to ask you to put it aside for right now so that you can take a wide stance on your yoga mat. When you take a wide stance, make your feet parallel. And please come down to Prasarita Padottanasana, so the standing wide leg forward bend. Walk your hands out. The hands now can be very light on the floor, but I would like you to press into your fingerprints and your thumbprints. And though you stretch the arms out long, try to put your body weight quite a bit more into your legs and less into the hands and arms. Good. So in this position, let's bring a little bit of focus to the arms, shoulder blades, because it's going to help us to reach into the back of the lungs. So as you have your fingertips on the floor, turn your triceps in towards each other, in towards your nose. Widen your shoulder blades around your rib cage. And on your inhale, think of breathing into the space between the ribs themselves. And then use the tiny straw exhale to help expel the exhale breath just as completely as you comfortably can. And then enjoy another inhale that stretches across the back hemisphere of your body, including into the places between your ribs. The intercostal muscles can get a massage from the inside with the breath. And then one more long, tiny straw exhale. So you're pacing that to be the pace that is yours, not the pace that is mine. Yeah, good job. As you stay with that process, complete your exhale to its end. And then walk your hands back to your hips and please rise up to standing. And let's go heels in, toes and knees out. And come to your jazz dance warm-up pose. Good. And so here we're going to press the inner thighs wide to stretch the inner thighs. And what you can do is imagine the tamas, the element of stability, from your toes to your heels. And even now how the hands press on the knees and the arms can be straight and strong. It's okay for your shoulders to shrug towards your ears right now. Bring your gaze slightly down. And let's inhale to the low third of the torso, and then your mid third in the back waist especially. And then try to bring some of the breath up into the upper third of the torso, including the back of your heart. And when you exhale, as you tone the deep low belly, go ahead and use the tiny straw exhale. Imagine the inner thighs getting longer. At the same time that you're toning the deep low belly, that the inner thighs get longer. And then you smoothly inhale. So the exhale is not like, it doesn't become ragged at the end, and you do smoothly inhale. Not like when you're driving and you hit that part of the pavement that is ridged, so you know that you're leaving your lane. Don't exhale like that, please. Okay, at the end of the next exhale, I'd like you to press down into both heels and rise up to standing. And let's go heel toe in. Step into mountain pose. We're going to be moving towards the sun salutation in a moment, but just try to sense what you've been creating for yourself, like this medicine that you're providing to your body, to your whole ecology, with appreciation for that. Let's step into the sun salutation. I'm going to come to the front of my mat for the sun salutation, and I am recommending that we use blocks. Okay, join your hands together. We're going to greet the day with Surya Namaskar. Okay, when you inhale, sweep the hands down, and just try this if you can. Inhale, first third, middle third. The arms up is the upper third of the breath. And then exhale, bow forward, come through Ujjayi Mudra if you like, and touch the blocks to help complete the exhale, press down into your blocks. Inhale, glide your heart forward. And exhale to deeply bow towards the legs. The legs are the element of tamas and stability. Inhale, glide your heart forward. That is the element of rajas, of motivation. Exhale, take your left foot straight back. Plant your toes. Inhale, rise to your crescent lunge. So you go first third, middle third, upper third of the breath. Exhale your hands to your heart, Ujjayi Mudra. Just do your best here. We're going to inhale first third, middle third, palms up, upper third of the breath. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, first third, middle third, palms up, upper third of the breath. Very nice. Exhale your hands to your heart. Come over your right leg and touch the two blocks. Please inhale your left foot forward and your heart forward. And then exhale, take your right foot back. You inhale to rise. You have first third, middle third, palms up, upper third of the breath. And then exhale, hands to the heart. And we're not grasping for the breath to come to the upper third there. This is really a thoughtful process of inhale, first third, middle third, upper third of the breath. Exhale the hands to the heart. One more time. Imagine the arms are like seaweed in the ocean, and they're being moved by the breath. In this case, your arms are also helping the breath at the very top third. And exhale, hands to your heart. Bow forward, please, and put the blocks aside to step into downward facing dog pose. Okay, in your downward dog pose, please press down into your index fingers. And as we used the chair before for the strength at the heel of the hand, press into the knuckles of your fingers. Press into the index fingers long and both thumbs. And then energize the triceps. And again, turn your triceps in towards your nose. Widen your shoulder blades around your rib cage. And picture the inhale having access to all regions of the back of the body. You're doing great with your setup. Thank you so much. And with your next inhale, then slide forward to plank pose. Put your gaze down between your thumbs. Picture how the shoulder blades in plank pose, they're also widening around the rib cage. Right? And the widening of the shoulder blades, if you keep tracing that line into the floating ribs, they're going to tone in towards the back waist. And then you tone the deep low belly as well. Good. One more breath in, please. And then exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Bend your elbows and come slowly down to the floor. And now on the floor, please place your forearms in Sphinx pose. This is sometimes called the slumber party pose when I teach my classes, because it looks like you're having a slumber party. So you can place your hands at the top of your mat. I realize that you can't see mine because of where the camera is, but you can have a sense of it. And gaze down, just like past the fingertips on the floor in front of you. Press into your elbows, your forearms, and your palms, legs, knees, and feet. And when you inhale, though you're in a back bend, try to get the breath to include the back of your body. Include the space between your shoulder blades. The head does not need to push forward and the throat does not need to become tense. And when you exhale, concentrate on the tone of the deep low belly. We're not using the straw exhale right now. We can use the Ujjayi exhale just to see what kind of tone can you bring with you from the straw exhale. During the exhale in Sphinx pose, you might sense that the skin of the low belly just lifts very lightly up off of the floor, or that the inner belly is making that kind of action. And then as you next release the exhale, you can place your hands beneath your shoulders, curl your toes under. Let's press back up to plank pose. Notice that pressing up to plank pose, that requires rajas, the motivation guna. And then inhale, reach your hips high into your downward facing dog pose. We brought some energy, some motivation, some vibrancy into the body. Now, keeping both arms stable, please inhale and raise your right leg to Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Raise the right leg high. Very good, like a happy dog tail. And then exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Now for this one, keep your fingers on the blocks, bring them back into your mat here. And when you're inhaling, you're going to straighten the left leg. But when you exhale, I'd like you to touch your left knee down to the floor while pressing into your fingertips so the low belly is strong. And then inhale to straighten your left leg, press into your right heel. And when you exhale, slowly touch your left knee down. It's not going to be very weight bearing because I'd like you to keep your fingertips, arms, and deep low belly strong. And inhale to straighten the left leg. And one more time, exhale to lightly touch the left knee down. Almost like we're going to go to Anjaneyasana, but then, well, we change our minds and we go back to the basic lunge with the inhale. Good, and then please step backwards to your downward dog pose. You can place your hands back on your yoga mat because it's more stable for the one-legged dog pose, so 2 flat palms, please. Energize your index fingers, your triceps, the outer shoulder blades, the inner belly. And then inhale, raise your left leg high. Ekapada, Adho Mukha Svanasana, like a happy dog tail, that's great. And keeping the sense of smoothness and playfulness in the experience, when you exhale, float your foot forward to the top of your mat. And if you have to take a couple extra steps, no trouble at all. Great, and then place your fingertips on your blocks. Okay, so here on the inhale, the right leg is going to be straight behind you. And when you exhale, touch your right knee very lightly down while keeping your fingertips strong on the blocks. And then inhale to straighten the right leg. And exhale to touch it very lightly down. So the inner belly should feel like it's lifting to tone, and the right knee is not heavy against the floor. And one more time, inhale to straighten. And then last time, exhale to very lightly touch your right knee down. Keep the tone of the deep inner belly. And now step forward lightly to Uttanasana. Inhale the heart forward. And exhale for a deep bow towards your legs. Then inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And pause for a moment there in mountain pose. Just pause, the palms together, the inner gratitude. Good. And then we're going to bring the chair onto the yoga mat. I'd like to do a beginner twist with the chair, and then we'll take you to some more twisting adventures. I have to manage a technical event here, so pardon me for a moment, please. You'll be glad that I did. I will be glad that I did also. There we go. Okay, so when we twist in these circumstances, I'm going to ask you to breathe into the back of the body still. And there we go. So if I sit in the chair facing you forward, when I turn to my twist, I'm going to be facing backwards, but you'll see the back hemisphere of the body. So let's turn in the chair to your right, please, and place your feet flat on the floor. So for some of us, that means sit more forward on the chair so your feet make it to the ground. If you sit back too far, sometimes your heels are really light. And I'd like you to have the need to keep your own pelvis upright through here. And then please twist across your upper back to your right. And you can hold the upper back of the chair with both hands. And this is a very stable position because we're using the chair. So let's think we have plenty of tamas, plenty of stability right now. We might not have a stable mind, so that's an important thing. And perhaps that will come with the pranayama. We want the inhale now to be the motivation, the rajas, that goes from the low third to the mid third to the heart. And with your exhale, I'm going to recommend the tiny cocktail straw exhale. And that may help to further focus your mind. One more time, please. And then rotate to face towards your knees. And just relax to see if the lucid mind, the clear mind, might come to you. And we're going to go to the other side. So spin about on your chair to go to your left. Yeah, and you'll be holding the upper back of the chair with both hands. So as you turn, then lengthen the spine up and rotate to your left. You can turn your head to your left. And set up your pose to be as stable as needed. So you have as much tamas, as much stability as you need to concentrate. If the stability of a pose is not there, it's hard for the mind to concentrate. So once you have the physical structure stable, then inhale the Ujjayi breath through the nose. And then you'll be using the exhale slowly, slowly. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing well. Good. And let's do that for 2 more breath cycles. So the concentration factor there, that's something internal to you as a very mature student of yoga and one who is becoming more adept at yoga. And then please come about to face towards your knees. Pause there and sense what is the effect you're able to have on the lucid mind and heart. Yeah. And then please rotate to face forward in your chair. Okay, good work. Now I'm going to show you how to make this a little bit deeper. And we did something with the chair a couple weeks ago, the chair twist, and that is certainly beautiful to do here, but I want to give you a standing version of this twist. So it's worth seeing the demonstration, and I'm going to demonstrate so that I'm twisting to my right. So I'll turn this. Okay, so a couple of clarifications. When I stand in front of the chair, I'm going to put my left foot to the left side of the chair, and my right foot, when it comes up onto the chair seat, is looking for the place it's not so far to the right and it's not in the center. So left foot here and right foot here. And then please watch for a moment. So you're first invited to come down, forward and down. Sorry, my chair is noisy. That's the nature of a metal chair. So when you come down, I want you to sense the broadness in the back of the waist right here. This is a little bit like doing child's pose. And then we are going to cross the hand and start the twist in the inner body and the inner belly. And for some of you, the way this twist might go deeper, you may be someone who crosses your hand and uses the leg of the chair right here. Okay, so let me talk you through those pieces slowly, but I'm going to ask you first to stand facing your chair so that you have your left leg in this plumb line here, and then the right shin is vertical, and the feet themselves are at least hip distance apart, left to right. So this is less stable than the last pose, less tamas, means it needs more mental tamas, mental focus. Okay, so let's put the right hand on the right knee, and please come down. Your left hand can touch the chair seat near to your right foot. Please bow your head and let the breath come into the back of your waist. You could think of this like part of what we do in child's pose is that we massage the inner organs and the abdomen. And right now that is the ascending colon. Very important for digestion, that the whole digestive tract is working well. Now you can cross your left hand just over your right foot and start making a little twist to your right by pressing your right hand down on your knee and turning your shoulders. So we haven't crossed the arm over the leg yet, just the hand over the foot. It's okay to turn your head. In fact, it might challenge your balance, your tamas, your stability. And you'll have to find the stability from the mind and from your breath. Now, if the breath feels smooth right now and you're able to keep that consistent, you can consider picking up your left arm to cross your elbow over your right knee. And when you cross over, you may then bring your left hand down to hold the leg of the chair right there. You may not be able to reach that, in which case you could put the left hand on the right arm or the right elbow and keep the right hand on your right thigh to support your twist. To include your head in the twist, I'm going to recommend that you're gazing back past your right elbow. So the head is not in extension, it's not back bending, it's in flexion and rotation. So breathe across the back of your waist, please. And then begin to unwind. And you're going to go to facing the chair, rise up to standing. And as you place your right foot back down, notice right now you have only half of your foundation, so less tamas, less stability. And you put the foot back down, you go, oh, more stable, more tamas, more grounded. That's the benefit of tamas, to become grounded. Okay, let's put the left foot up on the chair, please. So your right foot can be to the right side of the chair. So it's not in the center, but more to the right. And then come down and place your right hand. Take your left hand to your left knee. And begin just by bowing your head. So you've got the spine in flexion. A little bit like child's pose, a little bit like cat pose. And take the breath into the back of your waist. So you could, of course, sense the breath still gets to come into the front belly, but we're really much more interested in the back belly. And then you could choose to cross your right hand over your left foot. Use your left hand on your left knee to begin the twist of the upper body to your left. So your left hand and arm can be active. They are a part of what motivates the twist. They have some rajas. You're doing well, thank you. Notice that you have less tamas in the pose overall because it's not as much a stable pose. So the mind has to provide that. If you'd like to, you can try now crossing your right elbow over your left knee. And if you make that choice, you can also bring the right hand down to hold the leg of the chair there near to your left foot. And keep using your left hand on your left thigh to support the twist. Gaze back past your left elbow. So the spine is in flexion right now for this twist. Notice how you can breathe into the back hemisphere of your body. And by the word how, I do mean just how is that happening for you? What is the quality of your breath? How are you doing? Good. And then exhale to unwind. And when you step your left foot back down to the floor, notice again that you add the element of tamas. You become more grounded. Does the mind become more still? Now, I don't know what kind of chair everybody has, so let me show you what the next thing is, and you can improvise with your chair. I'm going to turn this one around. And I'm going to step over it. Now, I'm not that tall, nor is the chair that tall. So if I can step over the chair, I hope that those of you who are also shorter statured can step over the chair like this. And I know we don't all have the same kind of chair, so for example, if this was my dining room chair, I would not be able to use it for this pose. However, sometimes what you can do, if the chair is just a little bit too tall on the upper back, you can take a block to stand on. This will add to your adventure for sure. So you can have it like this. These are just options for you to consider. Okay. So on the twist now, you can watch here for a moment. When I come forward, I really want to come forward so the torso gets to drape over the right thigh, excuse me. So this is a little bit more even, yet again, like a child's pose, where the back of the body gets to be broad and to breathe. And then I have this opportunity to walk over and to cross and hold the leg of the chair. So the twist is now quite a bit more snug right here in the ascending colon. Okay, so let's start with the right foot over, and you can drape yourself over the right thigh. Allow the torso to be the part of Tamas that goes limp. Right? It's like heavy, it's unctuous. It's like the cat lying in the sun, feeling just so contented, and it will not be disturbed. You know, sometimes you try to push that cat and it just holds its shape, its relaxed cat shape. I'd like your torso to feel like that. Now the legs, they have to be rajas. They have to be motivated to support your balance. You can walk your fingers to the edge of the chair seat. Now we're going to add the twist, so you can place your right hand on your right knee or on the upper back of the chair and start twisting your upper body to your right. And you may cross your left elbow over your right thigh and hold the leg of the chair here on the side. We have more compression right here in the belly and at the ascending colon. So you must take the breath into the back of the waist. And even think of using the left side of the back to breathe. And imagine inside, like on Saturday, we had this image that the submarine would go down into the ocean for the kind research of a scientist. You can send your breath and your mind down into the abdomen as if they were a submarine looking about to find out, you know, how to be more kind or more wise, or how to treat your digestion or your body a little more skillfully. And then we're going to exhale and unwind. Now as you come up to standing, you have less tamas because you're on one foot over the upper back of the chair. So step your right foot around and come to stand firmly and try to sense, what is it like to come back to even ground? And then step your left foot over the chair. Very good. So not leaning too much forward, like the right thigh is not leaning towards the chair. Stand in the strength of this plumb line right here, and then come forward. And you can walk the fingers forward. And maybe your fingers will hold the edge of the seat of the chair. Allow the torso to soften, again, like the very happy cat lying in the sun, as you bring the breath into the back of your waist. Now, while keeping a sense of where the breath is, and that you want it to stay nourishing and robust, you can consider now walking your right hand past your left foot on the chair and add a little twist to your left in the upper body. Keep kind of close contact between your torso and your thigh. And if you'd like to, you could consider crossing your right elbow over your left knee. And then your right hand might hold the side of the chair, and the left hand could stay on the left thigh for support. Bring the breath across the back hemisphere of the body. Notice the kind of mental concentration that's needed. You have a less stable foundation. And then when you exhale, begin releasing. Roll yourself up to standing. You're about to transition again back to 2 feet. So when you step down, take notice of what that's like to have 2 feet once again on the ground. What happens there? You might also be noticing the warmth or the heat that gets released in the lower body after the compression. You did a beautiful job with that. Thank you very much. Let's now put the chair a little bit further aside so it's not in your way. And take a blanket to sit on, please. And the blanket to sit on is to give you a seat for the pose called Ujjayi Konasana, which means the wide leg seated forward bend. Go like this. I made that look easy, I realize. Some of us have been sitting like this since we were children, whereas other people, they've been sitting with their feet behind them between their ankles and the toes pointed out. That is not a seat that I've ever sat in comfortably. But yes, this one, I'm sitting upright. It's easy for my femurs to go down and forward. The pelvis comes forward. This is partly my genetic structure. So in alignment with your structure, we're going to now come forward. And as you bow out over the tops of the thighs, you may choose to put your forearms on the floor. You might choose to use blocks for the elbows if the floor is too far away. Let your attention go inward and downward. So that's the part of Tamas that is grounding. Let your attention go inward and downward. Imagine if you were in a tiny submarine, that you go down into the region of the mid to low belly, lower back, back waist, and you're like, oh, I'm kind of looking about here at this interesting community of fish. I'm looking about at this interesting plant and sea life. And there's a lot more going on down there than we must have first known. Because when we stand on the shore to see the ocean, we see only the surface of the ocean. You're going down like a little research scientist with a big heart, a big sense of patience to see what's present in the lower body, in the ocean of the lower body today. Now, keeping the legs energized and grounded, walk your hands back. Okay. Let me see what's going on there with the video. Thank you, Susie, for letting me know. Okay. 1 second. Into what is the question? Let's see if that will be better. Hopefully that's going to be charging this one. So Susie, if necessary, you can go back to the other video. That's me. Maybe this will last a couple minutes more. So you guys, we're going to do the pose now called Parvrita Ujjayi Konasana. You don't have to be able to pronounce it to do it. So we have a wide seat like this. Place your left hand in the center and right hand behind you. And when you twist to your right, please keep the left hip heavy. So keep this hip dropping down as you rotate. In fact, for some of you, it's helpful to place your hand there and then rotate to your right. And with the left hip heavy and the left thigh descending, start side bending to your left while you continue rotating to your right. You may choose to put your left forearm on your left thigh. You might choose to reach your left hand towards your left foot. Rotate the right shoulder way back like you would in Cobra pose. And then please raise your right arm. So like in the standing pose that we did in the beginning of class, I want you to reach, but not past what you can sustain. So left hip grounded, right hip grounded, and as you breathe, down through the right hip and up through the right hand. Imagine the motivation factor on the right hemisphere of the body. It's really helpful to keep the right hip grounded, so the reach of the right side of the body is very genuine in that case, meaning it's not, you're not compromising at the right hip, you're not compensating somewhere else. And then as you exhale, use your right low belly to pull yourself up and listen for that which might be more lucid. The mind like, oh, yeah, you just had a closed pressure system on one side and an open pressure system on the other side. You come up and there's this kind of balancing process that goes on. So now we're going to twist to the left. So put your left fingertips behind you. Start rotating to your left. Go ahead. And then check that the right thigh is heavy. Then you may choose to start side bending to your right. Maybe the forearm goes on the thigh. Maybe you take the right hand out to reach towards your foot. And then raise your left arm high alongside your left ear. And keeping your left hip grounded, use the breath on the left hemisphere of the body for motivation. It's called rajas. Imagine the nourishment that you're bringing into your body right now, not only with the breath, but also with your attitude about the breath, and not only with the movements, but the inner attitude with which you move. And then using your left low belly, please exhale, rise back up to sitting and check and see again. Did the equilibrium get initiated? Your body does want to come back to homeostasis. Our minds do want to feel lucid, clear, open. Okay, and then please watch me thoughtfully. We're going to set up for a shavasana that is like a waterfall. And you can use the chair seat for the legs and blanket for the pelvis. And this is from our restorative yoga classes. We've been doing this pose there intermittently as well. This morning I get to turn this chair backwards because that's how I have it set up. So the chair on the mat like this, and then you put your shins and your feet up. Now when you come down, you've got this blanket close by. I hope it's within reach. You lift the hips and put the blanket under the back of the pelvis so that right here, the low pelvis and the low belly are really at ease. It should feel like this is level. So your hip bone and your pubic bone are level, not like you're tipped backwards and not like you're tipped dramatically forwards, but level like that. And then you have your legs set to go. And you can put an eye pillow on, but if you're in hairband season because you're teaching yoga online, you can also pull your hairband down over your eyes like an eye pillow substitute. You get to decide. It's nice to have the eyes be quiet for shavasana, if you can find a way to do that. Yeah. Now we only have the hips slightly elevated, but that little elevation is going to mean that your exhale is gravity supported. And you don't have to give it a lot of motivation. You can just allow in shavasana that your body starts to feel the breath, even if it's very subtle. So take your awareness inside and notice the many small actions that are occurring right now. You don't have to make those actions happen. Your cleansing systems are turning back on right now. They've turned on during the yoga practice, but now they realize you are resting. So this is the rest and digest nervous system, also called the tend and befriend nervous system. Allow your body to rest and digest, to tend and befriend. Your gaze can be inward and downward. You are not analyzing anything, only witnessing the beauty of your body, your inner ecology taking care so that you will be replenished and restored. You may go into the abdomen and imagine that the submarine of your mind comes down to visit the organs in the abdomen, and knowing that they have been soaked and squeezed and soaked and squeezed in the twisting poses, we now assure the organs this is a time to rest and digest, to tend and befriend. Allow the organs to be deeply at rest inside the abdomen, like a very contented cat curled up in the sun. As you allow this process to happen, welcome your mind to be in witness and appreciation mode. You may begin to hear the sounds of your own digestion. That does happen in Shavasana. Sometimes it's a very good sign. Allow the organs to become even more deeply relaxed. Your gaze and your submarine mind can stay inward in the deeply quiet ocean of the inner body. Quiet here means free from the mental noise. You may have the accompaniment of the digestive sounds. That is completely welcome. As the organs continue to rest, allow your senses and your limbs, fingers and toes, to do the same. Allow the inner body and the organs to become yet again even more relaxed. This invitation from the wisest, most loving parts of you. Invite the organs to be replenished and renewed. And one more time, allow the organs to become even heavier with relaxation. Imagine the inner ocean. It's very tranquil, even if there is the sounds of digestion occurring. Give yourself permission for this deep replenishment, this deep reset. We will rest for 1 minute more. Asatoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om. You may slightly deepen your breathing. And gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. And please slide your knees towards your chest. And you can roll quietly to your right side and rest there for a few moments. I'm going to change back to my video. One moment. And I'll take myself back, Susie, unless you got it. So you can come to the video that is Daya Foundation. I think I might be able to get it. Start my video. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, please come up to sitting. When you come up to sit, take a comfortable seat that you can enjoy. You look beautiful. Yeah. Allow your attention to be inward. Such a sacred time at the end of your practice. Notice the feeling tone of the inner body. So Tamas is that which is grounded. We feel stable. Rajas is that which is motivated. We know how to put wisdom into action. And Sattva is the clear mind, the lucid, open heart. Please bring your hands together at your heart. And we can sing together the Shantis. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. So nice to be with you. You look so beautiful when you come up. I mean, you're always your beautiful self, but it's a certain beauty when you come up from your Shavasana. So it's very nice. Linda, what time is it where you live?